Hi everybody, this is Lily Hills, the award-winning author of the Body Love Manual, How to Love the Body You Have as You Create the Body You Want, and the founder of the Healthy Weight Coaching Center in Carmel, California. Thank you again for joining me here for this video series where I'll be continuing to teach you the natural keys to weight loss, the pleasurable and permanent way without dieting or denying yourself your favorite foods. Why? Because frankly, pleasure is good, and pleasurable eating is one of the greatest joys in life. And the more pleasure you have in your life, the more likely you are to lose weight, because food won't be your only form of pleasure. In this video series, I'm going to be teaching you why it's important that you eat foods that you love, why it's important that you not deny yourself the foods that you previously considered off limit, how that actually makes you more compulsive around food. Unless you have a medical condition or an allergy to a particular food, in fact, if you have any medical condition, run the Eating Alliance program and the Body Love Manual to your doctor prior to beginning. But any doctor that has even a small dose of common sense cannot help but agree with this healthy and natural approach to weight loss. Listening to your body, who could argue with that? So as we've discussed, eating in alliance with your body means listening to it and feeding it when it's hungry. And you can feed it any food you want. If you love pepperoni pizza, enjoy. If you're an ice cream lover, bon appetit. If you love pasta, have at it. This body-connected approach to weight loss is not about what you eat as much as it is about when you eat and how much you eat. Again, those lucky souls that naturally maintain their healthiest weight are enjoying a huge variety of foods. They're just tuned into their bodies and have learned to eat in sync with their physical appetites rather than their emotional appetites. They eat in alliance, in partnership with their body. They stop at a 5 rather than an 8, 9, or 10 stuff feeling. This key to permanent weight loss means allowing yourself freedom around food, the way you might remember eating when you were really young before you got the message that denial and dieting are the best ways to lose weight. I can remember when I was a child eating only when I was hungry and stopping when I was satisfied. I didn't ever think about my body and my weight. I just listened to it and loved eating then, just like I do now. That's why I was living at a healthy weight then, and why I know I'll be living at a healthy weight for the rest of my life. And here's why allowing yourself freedom and pleasure around food is so important. Once you stop defining foods as good or bad, and once you allow yourself freedom around food, you'll not only lose the guilty feelings that make you eat more than you're physically hungry for, but you'll also lose the obsession with foods that you previously considered off limits. When I first started to equalize all foods in my mind and see broccoli the same way I did peach pie, it quieted the voice in my head that told me that I was bad for eating pie, which made me eat much more than I was hungry for. You can see the vicious psychological cycle here. Giving yourself permission to eat any food you want, as long as you're hungry, will help you get over that backlash effect where you binge eat because somewhere in your conscious or subconscious mind, you're beating yourself up for going off. So if all foods are legal on this program, you can't make a bad choice. The only way to go off is if you eat way more of this food than you're hungry for. And this is a practice, and you may be nervous giving yourself free rein in terms of your menu of choices, but in time, you're going to get used to it. And you'll love eating your favorite foods even more because there won't be that feeling of remorse that you used to feel over eating them. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to be eating just the foods with the lower nutritional value. Once you get over the obsession with your trigger foods that are not as healthy by giving yourself freedom around them, you'll be able to moderate yourself with tremendous ease, just like I do. The more you tune into your body, the more you'll be drawn to foods with much higher nutritional value and those that serve your body on the highest level. You'll be less likely to want to eat the foods that make you feel lethargic and more likely to eat the foods that give you the energy to flow through your day with ease rather than drag yourself through. And I still eat every food you can imagine. Pizza, ice cream, steak, cake, pasta, you name it, I eat it. I just eat in alignment with my body. I eat until I'm satisfied rather than stuffed. It's that simple. And of course, not always easy at first. When I first started this Eating in Alliance practice, I was a sugar junkie and ate ice cream for breakfast sometimes and sometimes for pie for dinner or dessert. But I broke the cycle of compulsive eating by creating freedom around food. And now my sugar intake is about 1/20th of what it used to be. If this feels too scary for you, giving yourself full permission to eat anything you want, introduce your previously considered off-limit foods one at a time until they no longer hold power over you. If there's one food that you can't get control over at first, phase it out just for now or allow yourself that food just once a day or once a week. There'll be a point where no food can trigger you to binge eat. So take your time with this and experiment. I've got one client that's made all food legal except to put a boundary around no processed sugar, only natural sugar. It's her trigger food. And this allows her to feel more in control. She still eats all the fruits she loves, just nothing synthetic, no processed sugars. Another client said, I'm only allowing myself frozen yogurt. Every other sugar's off limits for now. She could then eat without guilt or remorse and enjoy her sweet treat every day. So everyone's a little different, and you have to make this program your own. But introduce those trigger foods slowly. Again, you have to figure out what works best for you. There's another article that goes into greater depth about this on my website, so dig around. In fact, there is a tremendous amount of great information and resource on my website. And I hope you're totally excited about what I'm sharing so far. You absolutely can be, because the natural approach to weight loss is a brilliant approach, and it's worked unbelievably well for me and countless others, and will for you too if you simply learn the skills to listen to your body and stay connected to what it is you are truly hungry for. I'm hoping that the videos I've sent you so far have totally changed your perspective on dieting and weight loss and given you much greater insight into your body and how it operates, and a greater respect for that miracle you're walking around in every single day. The last 3 videos gave you a partial roadmap to the treasure, your healthiest weight, and a relationship with food that feels healthy and non-compulsive. And the next resource I offer you is one that's going to help you make the transition to eating in alliance with your body, eating for physical reasons rather than emotional reasons. You're halfway there because now you have the information. The second half means shifting compulsive behaviors around food. Anytime you eat when you're not hungry, it's compulsive. And frankly, this is easy for some and challenging for others. Some people hear the information and they make the shift right away. Others who have been struggling for a lifetime have some practicing to do in terms of listening to their body. For some, the eating habits are so deeply ingrained, you might have a difficult time trusting your appetites or even waiting until you're hungry to eat. And if you're in a strong habit of eating because you're bored or stressed or worried or upset for any reason, making the transition to eating in alliance can require practice, support, and focus. And the fact is, old habits do die hard. Changing an old habit can be as difficult as uprooting a tree. And creating a new habit can take as long as trying to grow a tree from a seedling, if you don't make it your top priority. So what's the key to making the shift? As I said, number 1, make it a top priority. If it's not number 1 or number 2 in terms of your focus, it's going to be in the back seat of your consciousness rather than on the dashboard. And it can take much longer to make the switch to conscious eating if you don't make it a major focus. Second key to making the shift is bombarding your brain, your mind, with a new way of thinking and being. All addiction treatment centers want you to check in for 3 months because it usually takes that long to break a habit. In any recovery center, they immerse you in a new way of thinking and being. And it's much easier to make the shift when it's the only thing in your thoughts for the most part for a long period of time. Distractions do make it harder. So, again, making this shift means constantly exposing yourself to the new way of thinking around food. And the third key to making the shift is support, and a lot of it. Again, changing an old way of being can be like learning a new language or a new instrument. It takes time. But if you're learning from someone who's already mastered it, you're going to be taking a much bigger step in the right direction, a shortcut. It can cut your time down dramatically to losing weight. So finding a master coach is crucial in your struggle. And I'm not attached to which support structure you turn to, but I would absolutely suggest you partner with someone, a coach or a therapist or a psychiatrist, psychologist, who's ever mastered their own compulsion with food, because they can address your situation without judgment, with unlimited patience and with experience. Those that have faced exactly what you're facing and have moved beyond it, they're the ultimate authority. And I really started my own rapid recovery from my own compulsion with food once I had a coach, who's now one of my best friends, by the way, who could relate to everything that I've been through, who I knew wouldn't think there was something wrong with me because I had a hard time controlling my appetites around food. I had to feel unjudged before I could feel relaxed enough to tell her the things I was most embarrassed about, before I felt safe enough to reveal the depths of my eating disorder. You might have heard the saying, you're only as sick as your secrets. I shared with her all of my secrets, which is why I recovered from my food addiction. And once again, if you can reveal it, you can heal it. Unfortunately, I became impatient with my own process and I lost my momentum because I didn't stay with my coach long enough. I thought I could do it on my own, even though the evidence in terms of my compulsion continued to rule my world. So, basically showed me that I left her too early. I listened to the wrong voice in my head. So if you're struggling, have a support system until you're not struggling anymore.
Okay, so I am assuming I have driven that point home fairly well, and I did so because it really is an important one. If you want to make this journey to your healthiest weight and your happiest self, the most efficient one in terms of getting there at the healthiest possible pace, then support is in fact the key. And that's part of the reason I designed a program, an online audio program that teaches you how to quiet the voice in your head that makes you reach for food you're not hungry for. It's called Master Your Mind, Master Your Weight, and it's an 11 course class, all done by audio. So you're not looking at a screen. You're basically sitting back with your computer, listening to the information as you absorb it into your psyche. So 11 course class, which takes you through how to eat in alliance with your body, how to quiet the voice in your head that makes you feel so tense that you're reaching for food and eating it way beyond your comfort zone. This course is basically exactly what I wanted when I was struggling the most with my compulsivity around food. I wanted something that was going to be available to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anytime that voice came up and I felt like I couldn't control myself. So in addition to the 11 classes that teach you how to use your mind to quiet your mind, how to use your body to quiet your mind, how to bump up your metabolism, how to start your day in a way that makes you feel like there isn't anything that you can't do. So each day, all you do is you hit the button in the membership site, and for 20 minutes, you can do it ideally when you're sitting down and relaxing, lying somewhere and just absorbing the information. However, you can also do it when you're doing dishes in the morning if you don't have time. And it's something that the whole family can listen to because it's essentially a training in how to be happier and healthier and how to de-stress. In addition to the 11 courses, there are binge transcending programs and 3 different ones. So anytime you want to eat and you're not hungry, basically you're going to have my voice in the room there with you, helping you to relax and center yourself so that you can wait to eat just until you're physically hungry. And sometimes there's no other voice of reason coming in. The one in your head is saying, I've got to eat now. But the challenge is that there's no other voice to come in at that moment to support you in transcending that urge to eat. And now this program will do exactly that. So there's another program too. Let's say you start eating and you're not hungry. You turn this track on, this module on in the course, and it's basically me sitting there eating with you. I'm walking you through it to get you to minimize the binge before it gets to the point where you're feeling really sick to your stomach, like you really overdid it. So that's of huge value. There are other programs in there. There's a 30-day jumpstart program in there. So anytime that you want to get a fresh start, you feel like you've fallen off the wagon, you want to get a fresh start, it's a gradual increase in the skill sets to get you to your healthiest weight. I take you slowly through it. The first day is kind of easy, second day is a little harder, third day is a little harder. So you start to gain momentum. So once that momentum starts, then it's much easier to stick with it. So that program is amazing. There's also a day after a binge program. So we all know that after we have way too much to eat, we've got that voice in our head that says, oh my God, not again. I can't believe I have to go through this again. And then the next day, it's more likely we're going to do the exact same thing because we're feeling so frustrated or depressed or angry or down. So there's a day after the binge program that you get back on track faster because there are things that instead of it being a program that's about what you shouldn't do the next day, these are things you're going to do to get your mindset back in a healthy way to get you back on track to eating in alliance with your body. One of my clients who's taken the program and is using it every single day said, this is worth $1 million. And that's exactly what I wanted to hear because I wanted to make sure this is the most powerful program in the country for overcoming overeating. I know how challenging it is to go through it. I went through it for a decade and a half, and now I'm free of it. So I'm going to share with you everything I know about getting not only healthier, but happier. Happier with yourself and happier with your body. So the program's on sale right now. There are payment options so that you can take the class for a solid year and pay in installments to make it easier, because I know that there's a lot of people out there struggling right now. And if you ordered the program, I'm also going to give you an ebook of the Body Love Manual, how to love the body you have as you create the body you want. You consider that like your textbook for this program, something that you're going to be referring to regularly. And I'm also going to throw in a membership in the weekly emails I send to my clients to keep them on track, to keep them excited, to keep them fired up, to keep them moving towards all of their health and fitness goals. Part of this program is about learning how to evict that mean, worry-prone roommate in your head, the one, again, that makes you feel stressed or depressed. Letting that mean roommate out the back door is going to be a major part of your process. Letting that particular voice know you've been listening to it for years, it's now time to turn the volume down on it so you can be free of the unnecessary and optional stress that it creates on a daily basis. So basically, you learn to let go a lot of the stresses that accompany being your own harshest critic. You're going to be learning more about what's at the root of your emotional appetites, why it is you're eating food that you're not hungry for. You're basically going to be attending the University of You, learning more about yourself than you've known up until this point. And truly, the whole journey of self-discovery is a lifetime one. But this is a bit of a crash course in it, because the more you know yourself, the easier it is to manage those emotional appetites. That's a fact. Bottom line, you're going to learn how to value yourself and your body on higher levels. And only good can come from that particular practice. And you're going to learn how to have more fun and less stress in your life, because I'm a huge fun junkie and I had to throw in some information on that. Because if you're not having enough fun in your life, food becomes your fun. So this is definitely a process of finding out where the fun resides in your life and how to bring a little bit more fun to every day. That's one of my favorite parts of the program. So whether you have 10 pounds to lose or 200, this Eating in Alliance program is an asset that you're going to have for a full year. So you have plenty of time to truly integrate the information so that your relationship with food becomes effortless. It'll serve, again, as a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week coach to you, reminding you when you forget to listen to your body. If I had this asset when I was struggling, I would have been able to overcome my own compulsion much faster. But if I can help you to make your shit faster, then it will all have been worth it. Think of it this way. When you first take a class, the information is fresh in our thoughts, so it's easy to recall. But as the days and weeks and months pass with all of our various to-do lists, many of us forget about what we learned and we get back into old habits. Should that happen to you, you'll have this program as this refresher course, another jumpstart to getting back in harmony with your body. This program follows the same general structure as my one-on-one coaching programs. But because I'm only able to take on a limited number of clients, I created this program so I can reach a much larger number of people. The 2/3 of our country that's struggling with either being overweight or obese. The program builds step by step, so you'll have time to adjust to a new way of being and practice all of the 10 keys to eating in alliance with your body. You can take it at your own pace so that you don't feel frustrated or rushed. You can do it at your leisure, on your time frame rather than anybody else's. And here's why this program is invaluable. Because at your natural weight, you'll be more likely to stay healthy and avoid a fortune in doctor's bills that come from being over your natural weight. You'll also save yourself the money buying the pills and shots from other programs. Please don't do it. You're basically investing in your health and your future. This is all about having the best quality of life possible starting today, because you deserve it and only you can make that happen. Equally important as your physical health is your emotional health. How you're feeling every day. And being free from the worries around your weight is priceless. This program is the most powerful investment you can make in your future if you're struggling around food compulsivity. I have some powerful testimonials from individuals that are already taking this program that are experiencing amazing results from it, above and beyond, and including reaching their healthiest weight. If you are not completely happy with this program, if it doesn't completely change the way you relate to yourself and your body and your mind, it has a money-back guarantee. You get to try it for 30 days, so there's nothing to lose. Get in there, root around, pull out all the handouts, listen to the program. If you're not 100% satisfied, all you have to do is send me an email, and I'll refund the entire program cost without any questions asked. I only want you to be using it if it's serving you. You have nothing to lose except excess weight. It's a risk-free choice for you. And I can only do this because I know the value of this program is far and away beyond its current price. In fact, the information shared, as my client said, is priceless. And with this program, you'll have it for a full year again. It's like having a coach / best friend / therapist that you can take with you anywhere you go for the whole year to support you in getting back on track in terms of your relationship with your body. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're going to have a personal coach on call. It's information that took me from a woman who struggled every single day with food and self-judgment, who binged on a regular basis, who was often stressed and fearful and insecure and depressed, to where I am today, loving my life, never worrying about food or my weight, living at energy levels that make every day easier and more fun. And I'm grateful every single day to have made the shift. And free of the affliction around food compulsion, it's even more valuable to me than living at my natural weight. And I love living at my natural weight. And the same can be true for you if you listen to your body rather than ignore it. If you want to jumpstart your weight loss and you want the most direct approach to making the shift to eating in alliance with your body, and you want the highest level of support possible, this program is invaluable. Invest in yourself today. If you're like I was when I was at the height of my eating disorder, I wish more than anything in the world that I had someone at my side 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that could help me to overcome that urge to eat when I was not hungry. Like a trusted companion, a master coach who could talk me down from the ledge before I ate compulsively. And one of the biggest challenges in making the shift to eating in alliance with your body, eating in connection with your true physical appetites rather than your emotional appetites, is that the mind gets so loud in its demands for you to eat something immediately because you feel stressed or worried or depressed or insecure, that it's difficult to hear the rational voice of your tame mind saying, hey, just wait till you're hungry. Other times that voice of reason is so subtle you can't even hear it, and you find yourself reaching for that package of Oreos or that bag of chips as if on autopilot. That's where the binge transcending programs come in so incredibly handy. They're one of the best things about the program. This soothing and powerful and relaxing CD is going to make such a big difference because, again, it's a voice of calm to enter in to quiet down that voice of anxiety. And that is something that you're going to learn to do on your own. At first, you're going to be listening to my voice guide you through it, but eventually you're going to hear it so many times that you're going to be able to do it for yourself. And that's the ultimate goal. I put 3 different tracks on there, each providing you with different approaches to relaxation and giving you access to your wisest and most empowered self. Those tracks are going to become your new best friend. So don't wait another minute before committing to yourself on a higher level. If it's not my program, choose something else. But at least go and take advantage of the 30-day free trial offer. Then you can find out whether or not you really like it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to decide if you like a particular food until you have a taste of it. So go on in, sign up, see if you like it. If you do, fantastic. And if you don't, again, there's a money-back guarantee. If you want massive changes in your life, you have to take a massive step in the right direction. And this is a powerful option for you. As you can tell, supporting people and being their healthiest and happiest self is one of my greatest passions. I'm committed to doing it for a lifetime. So if I can support you in your journey, I consider it a privilege. I wish you a lifetime of health and joy, and remember, be good to yourself today. It lowers your stress levels, brings out the best of who you are, and makes the world a better place.